In this video, we will demonstrate how Ideate StyleManager safely manages viewport type assignments within your Revit projects and templates. In Revit, viewport type assignments for views such as floor plans, structural plans, sections, elevations, details, and so forth are determined by the end user. Typically, this is done by selecting a view that has been placed on a sheet and selecting the viewport type to use. However, other view types, such as schedules, have non-visible viewport type assignments which are not easily accessible, swappable, nor purgeable without special programming. If you've ever wondered how so many viewport types end up in your model, then here are some of the reasons how. For starters, intentionally. This is typically done by duplicating an existing viewport type to create a new viewport type, just like how other system families are created. Through the use of transfer project standards. Although Viewport Types is listed as its own category, other items under Transfer Project Standards will also bring in unwanted viewport types, such as schedules. Poorly created and vetted third-party software and visual scripting will also allow for unwanted creation and copying of viewport types, which is a common issue in Revit. While this list is just some of the ways in which viewport types find their ways into your model, there are many other ways in which viewport types end up in Revit models. While some viewports are easy to select in bulk to reassign their viewport types, you may still find it difficult to purge out some of the viewport types that show zero usage anywhere in your Revit models. In the example shown here, we used Ideate StyleManager to list all the viewport types in our model. As you can see in the image on the left, we have two viewport types that have a count of 0, meaning these types are not being used by any viewports. However, when we launch the Purge Unused feature in Revit, those two viewport types are unavailable for purging, which means Revit is still holding on to viewport type data somewhere in the model. While it is possible to select viewport types by element ID and attempt to delete them using brute force, you could end up unsafely removing other elements within your Revit models, some of which may not be fully disclosed by Revit, as seen here. Even more disturbing is that by committing to deleting viewport types through brute force, you could cause the Revit model or template to become completely unstable. In the example shown here, the transparent project browser shown on the right confirms the unfortunate results of the brute force method. The result was a project browser that was wiped clean of any information and became transparent. For illustrative purposes, we overlaid the project browser on top of the properties palette to demonstrate that the properties palette information is showing through the project browser. Instead of risking file instability by manually reassigning viewports to new types and removing unwanted viewport types by brute force, we can instead use Ideate StyleManager as a comprehensive and safe solution for managing and merging Revit viewports and their type assignments. Ideate StyleManager allows users to analyze viewport types for usage and allows for the safe deletion or merging of viewport types without the fear of destroying projects and templates. Let's have a look at how easy it is to use Ideate StyleManager to analyze, delete, and merge and purge our viewport types. To begin the analysis on the viewport types, I'm going to navigate to the Ideate Software tab, and then I'm going to click on StyleManager. When you first launch StyleManager in the current Revit session, you're taken to the home screen. Here you can see the Welcome to Ideate StyleManager information and also the FAQ. I'm going to click on the Viewports tab. And when you click on it, you can see there's a listing of the viewport types in this project. Under the Numbers column, you can see a series of question marks. That means none of these styles have been analyzed in this current session. To begin with the analysis, I'm going to select on one of these and hit the Analyze. You can see a report of 0 uses. I can also double-click on any one of these if I want to. You can also bulk select and hit the Analyze button. Keep in mind that if you select everything at once, it could take a little bit of time to do the analysis. I'll go ahead and finish the analysis by clicking on the Analyze button. Once complete, you can see a listing of all the viewport types and also their usage. I can also isolate to just show me the unused ones. And you can see over here that I have a ALT and a title width line that are not currently being used. If you don't want these in your project, you can select them all at once and remove them. Once you do the removal, you can see that the viewport type was removed and that no instances of viewports were removed from the project. To get that list back, I'm going to go ahead and select Unused. Now at this point, you have a decision. You can keep some of these viewport types, or you can do the Merge and Purge. Let's go ahead and have a look at the Merge and Purge. You can see over here that this viewport type is being used by a viewport called first floor plan. I'm going to move the Style Manager software out of the way. That happens to be this particular view right here. If I select it, you can see that we have a confirmation of viewport 1. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take this viewport 1 and I'm going to merge it with the north arrow one. To do that, I'll select it and hit the merge, and then I'm going to select this viewport type over here and I'm going to hit the merge. You can see that all uses have been replaced and that the viewport type was deleted. You can now see this viewport type looks different. You can see over here that we have a question mark. That means that we need to do the analysis once again since we did a merge into it. I can double click on it, and once I do that, we're going to get a report back from Style Manager on how many uses there are. And in this case, they're being used by 3 different viewports. Speaking of usage, if I select on the Do Not Use, we can see that several viewports are using this style. However, if I scroll down this list, we can also see that this viewport type is being used by some unplaced groups. And that's all there is to do the analysis, the delete, and the merge and purge. Visit our website at ideatesoftware.com to learn more about our products, workflows, help, and upcoming classes. Be sure to also follow us on social media for the latest information and news from Ideate Software. Thank you.